My name is Tarek, and I'm the Student Success Specialist here at JPW Academy. Um, and yeah, today we're going to speak to you about your progress made in the science program. So to begin with, can you just explain to me where you were at before you started the course?
Um, I think I was struggling a lot with science, especially chemistry and physics, not particularly biology. But I was at a low grade, as I said, with my year 11 December mocks. And I've made progress with the tuition that JPW tutors has provided me, and I'm at a 7.7 now with my
Okay.
results.
And what you had before?
I was at a 4.5 back
Okay. Yeah, that's great to hear. So in particular, like what kind of problems did you have with science? Like what were the hardest things you found?
I think in chemistry, chemistry and physics both, I just found it difficult to understand and manipulate, especially in class when there's a lot of students. As it's hard to analyze and all of that, especially in school, there might be supply students or whatever. But in a tuition, you can raise your hand, ask in chat, get feedback.
Of course. So when you did join the program, what specifically helped you out most?
I think being able, whilst in the live tuition class, I think being able to communicate with the tutor just in case I had a question, and it would be, I would get feedback almost straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you felt that, having kind of a teacher to speak to sometimes on a one-to-one basis would be very helpful.
Yes.
In terms of the groups, because it's group classes, how did you find that?
They are quite small.
Yeah.
So it's not like overcrowded, it's not flooded, the chat isn't flooded all the time. So I think it's the best. Yeah, it's good.
Did you find any kind of support by having other students around? Did you find any of their
Yeah,
colleagues?
I feel like in a sense with having not being the only one that struggles with stuff, seeing other students that also struggle with the same thing, it
Yeah, exactly,
helps you.
exactly. Um, so in terms of your commitment to the program, of course, it'd be a couple lessons per week and homework and things like that. How did you manage to kind of manage that time?
Just prioritizing stuff. Um, coming like knowing my just setting my priorities straight, sorry. So coming home. So I have on a Wednesday and a Thursday, just coming home and setting my priorities straight, knowing what time my classes were, and with the homework, getting that done as well.
So how did you find the homework in particular? Did you find it kind of useful having that weekly feedback?
Yeah, it was useful, especially with the feedback that they give less than a week later. So it helps you
To know your progress.
yeah, to know my progress on how I'm answering questions more and more each time.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. So what kind of made you decide to have this kind of group-based tuition as opposed to getting something like a one-to-one tutor?
I think maybe being in a group is better because you're not just um I think one-to-one maybe too much because it might be too much pressure and one teacher is only mainly focusing on you, whereas in a class, and even if it's a small group of people, you still have that sense of you're still around people. So
And the other students as well ask the questions. So
yeah,
sometimes, that question gives you an answer or gives you even different view or look or even different understanding.
Yeah, it might not have been something you would have thought of.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yes.
That's great. So in terms of when you were in school and you was doing your mocks, like you said, did any of your teachers notice any difference in kind of the work you're producing?
Definitely. I think I've had a lot of new comments on my chemistry and physics, as I said, because I've made a lot of progress in that. As before, I was obviously not at the top of my class, but now achieving high grades, which is obviously 7.7 is an A.
Yeah.
Achieving quite high is a good result.
Yeah, that's really good. So now that you have achieved those grades, how does it kind of make you feel? To me, feel more optimistic about the future? Do you think it'll help you with the confidence with other subjects?
I think with me particularly, being good at a subject really just boosts self-esteem in a sense in school in general because I know that full well, even if I went from a 4 or 5 and now that I'm a 7, it shows my capabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really good. So you'd definitely say it's kind of affected your confidence in a positive way that's
Yes.
translated to other subjects. So that's really good. So overall, do you have anything else do you think would be very useful for a student thinking about joining to kind of hear or to know?
I think a lot of students struggle with the fact that they think that they're the only ones struggling with it and they isolate themselves with it. But coming to a tuition where there's, even if it's a small group, as I said, it does put you in a little like, it's all right. Like there's other students that struggle with the same thing, and if a student might be too worried or too scared to ask a question, there will be other students that might ask the question they were wondering, and they always get feedback. So
And another thing what you said, that the lessons are really clear
yeah,
and understandable.
yeah.
So it's not like all the ways around, but really straightforward.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good to hear. Other than that, thank you really for your time. I'm sure this will be incredibly useful for everybody that's thinking of joining. So thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.